one of the other ways that we're using AI and machine learning is actually to promote fairness and inclusivity. A lot of people think like, oh, there's a lot of risk in AI in magnifying biases and harming, and those are important things to worry about. I think what's also an interesting opportunity, though, is using it to power inclusivity and fairer hiring. One great example of that is we're using natural language models to anonymize resumes.
Are we taking the name off of the resume?
Yeah, so resume parsing is a notoriously difficult problem.
Yeah.
The best commercial resume parsers out there are about 85% accurate, which is not bad, but it's not good enough if you're going to try to anonymize the resumes. So we've developed a resume parser that is significantly more accurate to the point where we can take a resume and it's about 96% and getting better accurate at identifying all the key information on the resume. So what does that mean? Is if I know your name and I've seen like some other things like sports teams you've been on, we can blank those out.
Wow.
And so then I can show you as a hiring manager anonymized resumes and let you just evaluate the fit for the job based on the skills that you see and the track record that you see. And you're not biased by the person's name and you maybe make assumptions about their gender, their demographics. And so that's like one small way which these technologies can actually be used to improve and promote inclusivity.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're only focused on the downsides and the risks, you sometimes don't see those opportunities.
Totally. This reminds me of, I think it was like the New York Symphony that did this with blind auditions first.
You got it. That's the famous example.
Yeah. And this is like such a great opportunity, I think, for recruiting to be like at the very beginning of this process. And if you can eliminate it there, then it becomes much easier like down the line to make sure that the funnel is more representative.
You got it.
So I think there's a misnomer on the candidate side right now around how the applicant tracking system works.
Yes.
So typically what I hear from candidates is like, well, I apply and I expect the AI, the AI is rejecting me.
Yeah.
It's like,
what the ATS is rejecting me is what they actually say.
Well,
the ATS is rejecting me. Those damn ATSs.
Yeah. I'm hearing it's like, these robots are like, ruining my chances of getting the job.
You got it.
And I have found historically that ATSs are actually just like stack ranking candidates based off of chronological order of who applied when. I think the future is going to look like, especially for roles that either are high volume or for brands that have lots of volume candidates, that there's going to be this like, we apply, some sort of like AI interaction, and then like a stack ranking situation. Do you think we're going to move towards that world?
So let's dispel the rumor first and let's talk about
fair enough. Yeah.
I can only speak on behalf of Greenhouse. I don't know what other products do, but exactly as you said, when you apply to a job to a company that uses Greenhouse, the employer sees them in the order that they applied. It's like going to the deli.
Chronological.
And you go to the deli, you take a number.
Yep.
And what the candidates don't know, because nobody tells them, I don't blame them, is they just got to the deli and they're number 2000. And so they're like, no one got back to me. It must be the ATS deleted me. I'm like, no, you're still in line.
Yeah.
You're just not ever going to get looked at because they're not going to look at 2000, resumes. So that's what's happening today.
Correct.
And just to be clear, it's a problem. I'm not saying that's like a great answer. That's just the status quo. The first answer to help alleviate that problem is giving our customers better ways to slice through that list more intentionally and get to the ones that they care about, not just the ones that came in order. So helping them giving them more powerful tools to filter that list from where they started. And again, it's not AI, it's not an opaque like magic, it's just better filtering tools. Number two is, to your point, I do think that there will be increasing demand given just the state we're talking about where there's so much flow for some kind of more automated way, as I say, to help the candidates create more signal. And so is that an automated chatbot, an AI experience? Is it something else? Like, I don't know, but I think there's a need to be able to do that. So that way you can find more of the stand-up candidates to focus on.
It feels like there's so much utility there because it feels like the problem is true on both sides. Candidates are like, I'm going into the black box.
Yeah.
And then companies are like, this black box is so big, I don't even want to open it because there's low ROI.
And so the third thing exactly is like giving the candidates better tools. And I think
interesting.
I think there's a really interesting opportunity there where like today, if you walk around this conference, everyone's got tools that they sell to the buyer. Rightly so.
Yeah.
They focus on what the buyers need. And the buyers have all the problems that they have and opportunities that they have. But the job seekers, They're not buying a greenhouse instance. They're not purchasing any of the other cool technology around here. So people don't always think about their needs, but I think there's an opportunity to solve some of the problems that employers have in the ways that we're talking about by helping the candidates, helping the job seekers. And I think if we can give the job seekers a better way to create more signal, the employer can know more about them and do a better job at building their funnel.
What does it look like? Like, give me the click in.
I don't have the full answer yet.
Okay.
But as I said, I think it's got to be involved in helping that job seeker just create more signal, because they're, let's face it, highly motivated. They want the job.
They really are.
And so I think they'll do stuff. And what exactly they'll do and how that works to create signal. Right now, again, I don't begrudge a job seeker. If you're a job seeker out there and you're trying to get the best chances, like, yeah, you're going to go buy one of these tools and it's going to blast out your resume to 1,000. I mean, it's just a numbers game. And like, okay, but it's getting less and less effective.
It's highly ineffective.
Everyone else is doing it. And so you're no longer, if you send out 200 jobs, you're no longer
doesn't work.
Applications, you're no longer standing out because everyone else is sending out 200 and soon it's going to be 2,000 or 2 million. And so there's no winning that AI arms race.
Yep.
It just ends in there's zero signal in the job application, and now what?
Yeah.
And so I think the way out has to be the job seekers providing more signal.
Yep.
And then the other thing is let's generate more signal about the employers. And so we announced Greenhouse Verified. Greenhouse Verified is at its most basic. Employers, hiring managers, and recruiters spend their day in Greenhouse.
Yep.
All the work that they do to take in candidates, move them along the process, disposition them, communicate with them, that all happens in our tool. What that means is we have a huge amount of data about what they actually do.
Yeah.
Like, do they actually get back to all the candidates, or do they only get back to the one they want to move ahead with? And the rest of them are left in limbo. If you look at candidate surveys for the last 20 years, the number one complaint that candidates have is I never heard back.
Ghosting.
Well, guess what? We know who ghosts candidates and who doesn't. It's right there in the Greenhouse data. They pushed the button or they didn't.
Okay.
So if you're one of the good ones and you get back to every applicant, whether they're moving forward or not, you now get a badge in Greenhouse that says Greenhouse Verified. You are communicative. And there's a handful of things that we can do like that. We know if you're actually filling in scorecards or not.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I know if you're like being fair and objective in your assessment of applicants. I know if you're moving quickly, like a lot of things. Those things matter to job seekers.
Yeah, they do.
So the other part of it is that we're now surfacing really useful information about the behavior of the employer that helps the employer stand out, that makes the good employers look really good. That also is really useful signal for the job seekers to say, well, rather than spamming the next 2,000 jobs, I'm going to go find those ones where I know the employer is going to give me a fair chance.
Yeah.
I know they're going to treat me well, and I want to work there instead. So I think there are new paradigms that don't involve just like blasting everyone with more AI, that are both more human and a lot more effective and more sustainable.
Well, it feels like we're in a paradigm shift right now.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I need to talk to you like every 6 months to kind of get the update because things are changing very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, 6 months, maybe 6 years in this environment. It's wild.